so far what we've done has been rather contact record centric. In other words, we pretty much focused on one contact record. And whether we were scheduling an appointment through the calendar or whether we were scheduling an appointment from that contact record, we've been focusing on one contact record. But a lot of times that's not the way that it works in your real life. In other words, what you have is a list of to-dos, right? A list of tasks. And some of those might be meetings, some of those might be calls, and some of those might just be to-dos. Now, if we don't have them associated with any particular contact, in other words, if we want to look at a list that is not necessarily associated with contacts, but just are all the things that we have to do, then what we want to do is look at Contact List View. So if we position our mouse pointer over Task List in the navigation bar and then click, that'll take us into Task List View. Now the cool thing about ACT is that everything is together. Everything is pulled together when I set things. So for example, I've already got these appointments set. I already have these meetings set with Herman Getter and with Vivian Grace. And so those show up on my task list. Now, I could filter them out, and later on we'll take a look at how I could filter those, but right now what it's showing me is everything that I have scheduled. Now if I wanted to schedule something else, and let's say I want to schedule it with myself, all I want to do is I just want to put a to-do to say pick up the dry cleaning. Well, then I can click on a new task or create a new task and create a to-do. Well, what's the easiest way to do that? I can either come up here and say I want to schedule a to-do up in the menu bar, or I can right click, come over to schedule, and then to do. And of course what that's going to do is bring up my schedule activity dialog box. But notice who it's on. Well, it's on the contact record that was the contact record before I came into the task list. But that's not what I want. I want it to be scheduled with me. So what I can do is on the schedule with, I'm simply going to click on the drop down arrow and then click on my record, on the words my record. So what that'll do is it'll schedule it with me. And the regarding then is pick up the dry cleaning. And I'm going to click on OK. So now I've got pick up the dry cleaning as part of my to-do list, part of my task list. And then when I do pick up the dry cleaning, then I'll simply click on the box next to pick up the dry cleaning, and I'll say that it was, I'm now going to clear it because it was a to-do that I have now done, and I'll click on OK, and you can see then that it's crossed off my list. Now I can have those stay there. I can have those cleared activities stay on the list, and that's an option that I can use. But right now what I have is that once I do an activity, it comes off my list. It depends on how you want to manage these things as to how you set up your own. But as you can see, using the task list to manage your activities sometimes makes more sense, especially if your day is mostly made up of a lot of different tasks, and tasks that have to do with things that you do for yourself as well as things that you do for contacts that are on your database. And so learning how to manage the task list even better would be a good thing to know, how to set up some filters and how to set up some options. So we'll talk about managing the task list next.